All right, and also Chris from Cleveland asks, is there a specific team that you've always dreamed of playing for?
Uh, no, but I think I would have a lot of fun playing with LeBron or with guys that can really pass the ball. They can create their own shots and they can just take over games because you really have to know your role in the NBA. That is crucial for a player's career. You know, if you look at like European players like Peja Stojakovic, he knows his role. He does it really well, and you can't just try to be the guy when you obviously can't be the guy. So I think that's the main thing is just kind of getting adjusted to being that guy that's just gonna hit open threes, gonna just make the easy plays and make the game easier for that main guy.
All right, Zach from Santa Cruz, California asks, if you're not picked by an NBA team this summer, would you rather stay in the United States to pursue it or go abroad and play in Europe?
No, I think that perception of the NBDL being so watched by the NBA and that you get players that get picked up. Yeah, you get 2 players every year that get picked up, but if you look at the NBA draft, the following summer, you have at least 4 or 5 European players. So they clearly scout overseas. There are going to be examples in this year's draft. So I don't think I would play in the NBDL. I think it's a financial decision too. It's not worth it for me financially to play in the NBDL.
All right, Julie from Cleveland asks, you've heard of your great athleticism and teamwork and leadership on the court. What have you done off the court that has contributed to your success at AU?
I think I'm just kind of try to be myself, you know, to try and communicate with people. I don't want people to think that, you know, oh, he's that guy. He's that guy that you can't really talk to, you know. He's just, if people have questions, if they have questions about like college, about anything, I know I'm here, and like if they see me on the street, I don't want to be like, oh my God, that's flawed. Like that's the worst thing that could possibly happen, and I just want to be another guy here.
So, what was your time like at AU? And coming from George Mason to here, college, from a college student's perspective, what was it like?
Well, I think it was the best decision of my life. You know, American is a great school, and I'm graduating in May with a great degree. You know, international media with a minor in history, and you can't really replace that. You know, I've been talking to my mom for a long time, and she's always been stressing out, do you want to turn pro? No, I just want to get my degree first, and then we'll see what happens after. You know, I'll have time to play pro after. And I've told my mom a lot of times, just on and off the court, it's been the best decision of my life right now.
All right, Connor from Boston, Massachusetts wants to ask, I guess a 3-part question. First is, what is your pregame meal?
My pregame meal, salad, chicken parm, and pasta, and some fruit.
He also wants to know, what is on Vlad's iPod?
On my iPod, oof, that's tough. Everything from country music to rock to hip hop to Romanian music, to Greek music, Persian music. You know, I got everything on my iPod. I like all kind of music, and it doesn't really matter to me as long as it kind of sounds good. I don't have like a genre or like an artist that I prefer.
Right, and also, who's the most influential person in your life?
I think it's my whole family, just like as a whole. Probably my mom is the most influential if I have to pick one, but I think it's my family. Every time I make a decision, I think about everyone that's involved and that could be affected by it. So that's my grandparents, to my fiance. They all matter to me, and when I make a decision, I think about them.
Also, I wanted to know, growing up in Romania, who were your idols growing up?
That's tough because I had, one of my friends was kind of my idol. He was a little older than me. I learned from him a lot. He passed away a couple of years ago, so that was tough for me. But, you look up at NBA players and European players. I could name a couple of European players, but probably nobody knows them here because they kind of refused to play in the NBA. They just felt it wasn't their type of game. And but players that everybody knows here is probably like Detlef Schrempf, who's pretty much the first really good European to play in the NBA. Then I would say Dirk Nowitzki. I love watching him play. I love kind of just stealing from him, stealing his moves and
Right.
his shots and just the way he creates his own shot. Not being really athletic, but kind of using his length. Then I love watching Kobe. I love his motor. I love the way he works, the way he competes. It's just you can't really beat that. If a guy wants to win that bad, just you can't compete that. You can't beat that with talent. You can't beat it with anything. Just hard work.
So you sort of take the dedication of Kobe Bryant with the finesse that Dirk Nowitzki has, sort of apply it to your game.
Yeah, I think you can't really take the lesson on Kobe Bryant. So you definitely got to take what's there for you to take. And just I've been able to go to camps, in Europe, and kind of had a chance to watch Dirk twice while he was actually my coach at a camp, but had a chance to watch him work out from like 2 to 5 when it was lunch break, and it was just it's crazy. He had like 6 guys around him, and he was just working his butt off. And it was just June, like his season just ended like 2 weeks before that, and it was just crazy to see how a guy that is on a max deal with Dallas, he has tons of success, he's gone to the NBA Finals, is still working that hard, and that's something you gotta learn. It's not all about money for some guys, Maybe some kids think that it's just all about money, and I want to make it big just for the money. But I think for Dirk, from what I've seen, is more than that. It's more than just a game and just a job.
Is that sort of the motto you live by?
Yeah, absolutely. I've talked to my agent. I think he knows that I'm not just going to take the highest paying job just because it's the highest paying job. I think it has to be a right fit. It's a fit that I have to be able to succeed in. And it's not really about making the most money right now. Yeah, when I'm 32, I'm probably gonna go like for the highest paying job, but right now I think it's about my career and kind of my legacy and kind of create a path for other Romanian players to kind of follow.
And so if you're trying to make the NBA, you say you're going to be the second Romanian player.
Second, third, because Ernie Grunfeld was the first, but then he became an American citizen. Then George Morrison was the second, and I would be the third. Second, third, I guess. I don't know.
Well, we definitely wish you the best of success I was speaking for everyone here at AU and everyone watching you this year. You definitely have been a thrill to watch. I mean, seeing you from the sidelines is, definitely a treat seeing you drop 39 against Lehigh, seeing you drop, I think it's 35 against Colgate. Also, I guess from more of a basketball perspective, what was it like, because news last week was Jim Larinaga is going to Miami, Florida, and he was once your former coach. What was it like playing with him from Mason, and then what was it like playing with Jeff Jones here at AU?
It was very similar. Coach L was at Virginia, an assistant coach, and you can see that. And then clearly JJ played at Virginia, so they were very similar, which kind of made the transition a lot easier. I'm talking about like practice schedule and the way we practice and all that kind of stuff. There wasn't a ton of stuff that was very different. So I think it was an easy transition, and also the guys on the team here and the coaches here made it really easy for me to adjust the stuff that I didn't know. And there was some stuff that I knew, but like the stuff that I didn't know, they really made it easy for me to just pick it up really quick.
All right, Paul from Gold Coast, Australia wants to know what sports person do you admire from other sports as an inspiration? So I guess from a non-basketball, are there any other people out there that you sort of inspire to be like from a different sport?
Absolutely. If you look at tennis player, you look at the same way Nadal works and the way he plays and the way Roger Federer carries himself off the court when he's not playing. And I think those are the guys that people should choose as models. It's really important for someone to choose the right model. And you can't just choose one guy, because I think everybody's human. Everybody's gonna make one mistake at some point. If you choose that guy, then you might choose the wrong path when it comes to that. But if you really just pick a couple of guys and you take the best parts out of them and you strive for that, I think that's what you want. And like I said, I think tennis players, they're really good as role models. Like I love watching Nadal and Federer play, and the way Federer carries himself on and off the court is really amazing.
So are you a pretty big soccer fan? I mean, being from Europe, I'm kind of assuming this, but
Yeah.
I'd say, who's your favorite team? I guess they're.
It's been Barcelona for a long time.
Yeah. I know growing up with essentially an all basketball family. Did you ever play soccer? Or is
Yeah,
it
I started off with soccer. I was about 5.5, I think. I started off with soccer for like about a year and a half. That's when my mom was playing away from Bucharest, or my home. Then she moved back to Bucharest, and when she moved back, we moved back, but she wouldn't let me play soccer anymore because it's a really big city, and she didn't like the coaches, and it's a long story. And she was like, "Do you want to pick up basketball?" And I was like, I don't know. So, I mean, all this time I was in the gym with her every time she had practice. So I've been playing basketball since I was like 3. More like 1, but kind of actually be able to dribble a basketball. But it was just a matter of, do I want to do soccer? Well, my stepdad said I'm crazy enough to be a goalie, and I really wanted to be a goalie. That was just the only thing I really liked. So just a combination of all things, and I kind of picked up basketball, and I was fortunate to have a really good team around me there. So I really liked the guys, so that really made it easy for me to just kind of go to practice every day. And I liked the coach, and it was fun because it was competitive. The first year they put us in the championship, in the tournament, and we got a national championship game, and it was a lot of fun. It was especially for my first year playing basketball with a team and just being organized, and it was good to know that we got the championship the first game. You want to do it again after that. So I'm sure if we'd have finished last, I don't know if it was that much fun.
So what's it like playing for your country, playing on a national team? Because, I mean, being some of my size, and I'll probably never reach that goal in my life, but what's it like representing your country, playing for a national team?
Oh, it's great. It's not just about the atmosphere. It's not about myself kind of playing for a national team. It's about all the other people that believe in us and that just work for their country every day. And you got to go on the floor and just represent them, represent everyone. So it's tough. I think when you lose a game with national team, that's when I feel like the world kind of just is getting really heavy, and I feel it on my shoulders, and it's just it's a different feeling. You can't really compare that to any college games or like professional basketball games because you don't really get paid for that. And some guys come and do it, and they kind of like walk through it and they say it's whatever. I'm not one of those guys. I take a lot of pride with the national team, and the fact that we won 3 out of 4 games last summer, and we're in first place right now for the European Championship, the qualifying round. I think that's just a great feeling compared to the year before when we lost 4 out of 4, and I was just embarrassed. I had no idea how to get out of Romania quicker.
And so, transitioning to America, what is sort of the differences you've noticed with the style of play from Europe to the States?
Oh, it's huge. The game's a lot faster, I think. A lot less defense compared to what's going on in Europe, especially team defense. Here it's kind of like, you guard your man, I'm going to guard mine, and if you need help, I'll get there. Sometimes. I mean, it's just how it is from what I've seen, and I feel like that's what separated the U.S. team the last World Cup, them being able to actually defend really well as a team compared to defend just one-on-one, because European teams don't design plays for a player to play one-on-one. That's very rarely. Unless you got a guy probably like Josh Childress that played in Europe. Then if you got a guy that actually played in the NBA, he's really good. When it comes to Europe, then you probably have a play designed for him to play one-on-one. But that doesn't happen very often. And it's really a team concept. If you look at league and score in Spain league, which is pretty much the best league in Europe, he averages 17 points a game. It's J.C. Carroll, who's American. But it's just, like if you look overall, most leading scorers are Americans, but none of them average like 25, 20 a game. They all average about 17, 16. That's because those countries, it's a really good basketball. It's team-oriented basketball.